Guinea man is part of this cycle of life, forming a passive partnership.
See, the great prophecies of the Bible bring present-day events into focus.
Operated by missionary pilots, this plane carries personnel and supplies.
Welcome to the show. It's great to have your company. I'm Alan Lindsay. If you haven't previously joined us here on South Pacific Classics, this is a series of screenings of archival film footage that highlights the work of the Seventh-day Adventist Church in previous years. In our most recent show, we saw the first half of a 1950s film, The Voice in the Jungle, a dramatic reenactment of early contact experiences between Christian missionaries and the traditional villages of Papua New Guinea. The film was shot on location in PNG and produced by Eric Weir. Although this is one of his earlier efforts, this film shows why he attracted the attention of church leadership in the first place. His technical ability with a 16mm movie camera, as well as his feeling for narrative and drama. The one technical area where the film might have fallen down is the sound. It appears that very little of the sound was actually recorded live at the shooting location. But with careful use of field recordings, sound effects, and an engaging first-person voiceover, Eric Weir has produced a film with a seamless sense of immediacy. And just a warning, the film you're about to see contains some depictions of nudity in a traditional village setting. Prepare to be intrigued as South Pacific Classics takes you on a journey through time. This is The Voice in the Jungle.
Through Pukia, I told him who I was and why I came. But I noticed that Pukia was not really comfortable among these people. He seemed rusty in his own language, and no one welcomed him. He was a stranger among his own people. They make pets of their pigs. Such filth, such ignorance. If I only knew their language and could teach them. I slept in the Land Rover that night. The villagers awakened early for their breakfast cooked over open fires. Nanako, their chief, didn't intend me to sleep in. Quite a friendly fellow behind his war regalia. This turned out to be an interesting session. Nanako wanted a picture of himself, his 4 wives, and me, so I asked Pukia to take the picture. Just to be sure he looks right. He was more or less successful. I said goodbye to Nanako and his 4 wives. I went home feeling I'd made friends of these 4A people. 10 years had now passed since we first came to New Guinea. It was now our privilege to visit Kabiufa College, where a number of our young native friends were now studying. Here were clean-cut youths from scores of different tribes who under the old regime would be hated enemies, studying together in perfect harmony. Instead of wild sing-sings and dances, there were dignified drill teams. Instead of carving heathen gods, they make furniture. Instead of competition to see who can take the most human heads, they compete in sports. You are New Guinea's leaders of tomorrow. Your task is great. 10,000 villages still sit in darkness. Untold languages yet need to be recorded so all may hear the voice in the jungle.
My Lord, am on my journey, my Lord, am on my journey, my Lord, am on my journey home. I went to the valley, I didn't get to stay, my soul got a happy and I stay all day. I got good religion and I got in time, and I'm on my journey home.
Na bagi ya sobi ni goma ya magini gambar kawa dia budaya untane. Goma gambar itu na untane goma se se goma ikin dako. Pero maka terego untane maka kia peto mo me pero goma kia pero gambar itu na ini kawa me mungkin tadi ni. Hai mo pero waka kuru gote ni goma se patau ni untane. Hai mo goma se patau goma gini goma itu tadi goma ai gu tadi goma teknika ya ada mai teknik mo gini ai untane.
A few days after the arrival of the phonographs, we loaded a number of them into the Land Rover and started off back into the foray country to see how they would be received. introduction, they were ready with a special greeting. There were no menacing arrows and spears this time, but only a peaceful dance of welcome.
Yes, ma'am, so you go my yamagin and back cover give him done. You go like American and done, you go say, I go my kindaka. You have to go to done in Mahatia, Peter, Pitia, American, and make a mistake and I want to walk. I could have got in and go my sis, but
I took a little time to teach Nanako how to operate the machine. After a few strange sounds, he did very well.
The woman is a moment and I says by a tap of gomez, but someone need even to examine you, leave a ratum daniada. So what time is the gomez, but I will also be goma in. How can you go? Yamagin, Bagni Goma, and Dana says, we over 70 perigomas in the rapid Pigoma continue.
We were very pleased at the enthusiastic manner in which these people received the machines. They really did understand the messages on the records. One day, a native by the name of Koyu, who had had some training at the mission school, came to our door and in Pidgin English and sign language asked for one of the machines which he volunteered to take back into the jungle-covered mountain fastness, where the missionaries had never gone, and would use the records to teach the people.
Yeah, man, man. But I people come in as I work with and
Koyu was very successful with the phonograph, and hundreds of people in distant villages became Christians. We decided to make another visit to Nanako's village. This time we arrived undetected. It seemed to be deserted. Had they turned against us? Was this a trap? Perhaps the witch doctor had banned the phonographs. Maybe we were about to be attacked. Then we came upon the people in a group listening to the phonograph. Nanako was in charge. Now, I knew that the little machine had taken hold of the hearts and imaginations of these people. It was something their simple minds could comprehend. Nanako told me that they had been listening to the story of how Christ was baptized by John in the River Jordan. Could they be baptized the same way? Through Pokia, I explained that this could be arranged as soon as they fully understood the meaning of Christianity and gave up their evil habits. They said, the phonograph will be our teacher. And so it was. I spoke to them at length of what Christ would do for them if they would accept him with all their hearts. Little did I realize how quickly these people would change. The warning drums beat again in the 4A country, and the people rushed to their homes not to pick up their spears or arrows, but to put on their new clothes to meet us. Now it was safe to take root. What a transformation met our eyes. The people had earned some money by selling food to government patrols and had walked long distances to buy clothing at a trade store. They seemed almost self-conscious in their new attire, yet behind it, you could see the happiness in their faces. Nanako had retained his first wife. The others? Well, no legal complications in this country. I told them I would arrange for their baptism. In due course, I arranged for a pastor from a neighboring mission to perform the baptism, as I had never witnessed a New Guinea-style ceremony before. We could see from the earnestness of these people that this really meant something to them, something down deep, a new way of life that made it safe to walk unarmed in the jungle, where the neighboring village was no longer your enemy. At that moment, I sent a prayer of thanks heavenward. The drum was beaten again, but with a different sound. It summoned the village to worship. They built themselves a church. Was their pastor. The overflow attendants. Back home again, we found a tape-recorded message from Hal Collins.
This is Hal Collins on the Sepik River of North New Guinea. The Sepik Garamut drums. They used to call up the tambourines, or tribal spirits, and they inspire the movements of the masked tambourine dancers. During the mysterious initiation rites, strange spirit images are carved, all part of their ancient superstitions. The design of the spirit houses vary from village to village. All are mighty structures and may be entered by men only. are carved in age-old symbols. The old men of the tribe spent a lot of time carving various wooden seats and images. Here at these spirit houses, there's now a new sound, the sound of the little phonograph, telling people to worship God instead of their ancient spirits. Chewing of betel nut is also one of their vices. Matthias and his helpers carry the record players up the Nagam River, tributary to the Sepik. I've experienced the mighty impact of these recordings, the impact they have upon the people here on the Sepik River, as I've played the little machines and they've listened. I couldn't speak their language, but I know they understood. The farther up the river you go, the more primitive the people become, the greater need for uplift and help. The missionary cannot be everywhere at one time, but these phonograph workers can give a much wider coverage.
10 years had now passed since we first came to New Guinea. It was now our privilege to visit Kabiufa College, where a number of our young native friends were now studying. Here were clean-cut youths from scores of different tribes, who under the old regime would be hated enemies, studying together in perfect harmony. Instead of wild sing-sings and dances, there were dignified drill teams. Instead of carving heathen gods, they make furniture. Instead of competition to see who can take the most human heads, they compete in sports. You are New Guinea's leaders of tomorrow. Your task is great. 10,000 villages still sit in darkness. Untold languages yet need to be recorded so all may hear the voice in the jungle.
My Lord, am on my journey, my Lord, am on my journey, my Lord, am on my journey home. I went to the valley, I didn't get to stay, my soul got a happy and I stay all day. I got good religion and I got in time, and I'm on my journey home.
The Seventh-day Adventist Church struggled to make headway in Papua New Guinea in the early 1900s. By 1934, less than 50 people had been converted. Within the next 6 years, however, numbers had swelled to 1,000 as a growing network of mission schools became established. Today, there are about 250,000 baptised Seventh-day Adventists in Papua New Guinea, with more than double that number attending church each week. It is a thriving and growing movement and has contributed much to the efforts of PNG to establish itself as a modern democratic state. International Educational Recordings, which sponsored the making of The Voice in the Jungle, is no more, sadly. It seems it has gone the way of the finger-operated gramophone. But there remains a need for affordable and culturally appropriate communication technologies. Today, Adventist World Radio broadcasts via shortwave in 70 languages, covering about 80% of the planet with the good news about Jesus Christ. Similarly, the Adventist television broadcaster, the Hope Channel, covers every corner of the world via satellite and internet streaming. The technology for delivering the gospel is often expensive, but sometimes within the reach of people living in even the poorest countries of the world, as in the wind-up clockwork radio or the solar-powered digital audio player. I look forward to one day discovering the full impact of these efforts on people who will never darken the doorway of a church or appear in membership statistics. Thanks for your company. I've certainly enjoyed the opportunity to share some more South Pacific classics with you. See you next time. I'm Alan Lindsay.